The first is self-leadership, self-mastery. A person who is master of themselves understands everything about their own instrument, how their own body works. So we know the physiology of our body and what it takes to keep ourselves happy, healthy, and thriving. Our physiological and biological needs take precedence. We need to sleep. We need to eat well. We need to move our bodies. We need to get regular access to water. We need to breathe. There are certain core things that keep our body happy, healthy, and thriving. It is how we feel vital in life. When we do not care about these fundamentals, our body is running under optimal levels. It is stressed and it is sick. When we are stressed and sick, that then filters into how we make decisions, how we live our lives. When we choose to be stressed and sick, we cannot make good decisions. We cannot live full, enriched lives. So one of the steps of self-mastery is to understand the body and what the body needs to stay in equilibrium. Then we move to the emotional components of the body. Our emotions are incredible information systems. Think about all the hormones, the biology, the neurology, all the different systems of the body that interact to create emotions. There is a stimulus. We perceive it. We feel something come up. It gives us information about what to do. If we sense we're angry, we can use that aggression to fight, to defend ourselves, to create boundaries and space. If we interpret something and we feel fear, we can mobilize our legs and run away. There's incredible information when it comes to emotions. If we ignore emotions, if we suppress our emotions, we're removing an amazing technology we've developed to support us in our day-to-day life. But emotions, if we don't tend to them, they can overrun us, they can overrule us. Our desires become the main thing that we look for in life. Most people think that their desire is a non-negotiable. I want something, so I must go get it. But in actuality, we can process our desires. We can process our emotions. Just because we have an instinct or an impulse towards something doesn't mean we have to do it. We can step back and actually understand what the body is needing and then direct it to something else. Finally, we think about the mental processes that we engage in. So how we think, how our brain is operating. And there's an old saying that the mind is a great tool, but a poor master. We have yet to learn the lesson of how to really master the brain, how to deploy it strategically, how to use it to solve problems, and to know when the brain is maybe not the best information system to make decisions. So a self-master is one that understands all the components of who they are. They understand their relationship with other things and the emotions and the ideas that come up in relationship to other people, to other roles, to other places, and they can negotiate with themselves and manage themselves. So in essence, a self-master can direct themselves. They have organized their internal world, their internal state, so they can move themselves towards something. So when we talk about leadership as moving and directing energy and creating towards something, self-mastery, self-leadership is a vital component of being able to muster one's resources and organize oneself to move in a direction. I see this often with executives. Many leaders are emotional and don't know how to deal with their emotions. They either repress them or they completely act on them. And it's one and the same, because if you repress it, it's going to flare up and come back anyways. If you're just acting on emotion all the time, then you're not making rational decisions. You're not actually opening up the options that are in front of you. So these executives, they're running really high on emotion, and their careers at some point fail. They cannot maintain the direct course they want to take to get where they want. I was once working with someone who repressed their emotions severely for years. They called themselves a hyper-rational leader. I have no emotions. I'm purely logical. And they kept pushing things down, working harder. At some point, this individual started to have stress-induced seizures. They collapsed and they seized. And after several episodes, they were forced to quit work. They had to take years off of work. So where they were trying to go up the corporate ladder, all of a sudden, they're out of the game entirely. To be able to move in a direction and a sustainable direction to get what we want, we have to learn how to master ourselves. There are too many examples of leaders, executives who get everything they want, they get the big promotion, and everything in their life completely collapses. I've seen this myself with plenty of people I've coached. They get the goal and everything falls to shit. They're getting divorced, their kids are estranged, they have a huge health crisis. All of these crises start to pop up and flare up to say, what you're doing is not working, what you're doing is not healthy. So, self leadership, self mastery is one of the greatest adventures we can go on in life and one of the most fulfilling. When we're not a leader of ourselves, we're at the whim of outside forces. So, the world, people, they're all essentially acting upon us, and we're just in response, just in fight, flight, or instinct, or just reacting, rather than shaping our direction, shaping our future, shaping how we move through life. When we master ourselves, we really start to master life because we know how to maintain what's inside of ourselves to move outwardly.